And just to clear it up, the event actually opens at 3, just because generally people start to kind of filter in. They want to see what's going on. They want to, figure out their plan of attack, how they're going to set up and stuff like that. But the actual parade will kick off at 4 p.m. So basically, doors open at 3. Festivities start at 4.
Yes, but food is available.
Yeah, and food will be available.
Yes. So speaking of setup, so people want to come and they're kind of planning it out and they're checking out Husky Field. They're like, where's my spot gonna be? So we encourage people bring a little pop-up canopy or a pop-up tent, pop-up canopy, as long as it doesn't go in the field. Do not bring a hammer.
Do not stake that field, everyone.
Do not stake it because the sports people, the sports folks will come at you. So don't be putting any stakes in the field, but just a little pop-up tent that stays on the grass, that's fine. We do scoot them back away from the front stage. So go towards the back of Husky Field and you're fine setting up a little area back there. Bring your chairs and stuff for your kids. That's great.
And it'll be designated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just along that same note, so people can bring coolers if they
can
want,
bring
with their own
coolers.
beverages. Okay.
Absolutely can. Yes. And make sure you visit our food trucks all day long and
Right.
and set up a little camp out there. It's going to be great.
But no grills.
We are not grilling on that field.
Please do not bring grills onto the field. We don't want to have
Even if it's one of those
anyone
small
tackle
ones.
you.
Yeah,
No,
no.
absolutely zero grills.
No, we're not cooking.
We're not. Nope.
That field is not for cooking.
Safety first.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. And since we're talking about kind of some of the housekeeping type things, what about pets? Are people going to be allowed to bring their pets?
No.
Okay. However, service animals will be allowed.
Yes, sir. Of course, service animals are allowed. Just keep in mind that we're doing fireworks. Okay,
Yeah.
so be aware even when you bring your service animal, how are they going to be responding in a large group of people with fireworks blowing off?
Absolutely. Okay. All right. And what about if people need to find, what if people lose their child at an event or I don't want to say lose their child. What happens if a child walks off because they see a balloon or something that they want to go grab?
Well, it's a good point to bring up the balloons because our information booth is going to have a giant balloon. It's like a big question mark. So just look around, and that's where the info booth is, and we will have people manning that the entire event. So if your child is lost, when I had little kids, we always said, hey, if we lose each other, this is where you go as we entered the area. And so that's a good advice for parents. Take them to that info booth and say, hey, if we get separated, this is where you need to be.
Okay.
Well, and it's inevitable. I mean, every
Yes.
year we experience that. A couple of kids, they can't find their parents, and it always works out. A tip would be, write your cell phone number on your kid's arm, for
Yes.
example, or put something around their neck, to a lanyard with a note of some kind. That would be very helpful because kids are not going to remember your phone number.
Most
or
of us
other
don't remember
details
our numbers
either.
here.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're so long.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
So if they approach the booth that has a balloon shaped as a question mark,
Yes. There's going to be people there ready to help them out and contact you and let you know, hey, we have something that belongs to you.
cool.
Absolutely. And the number on the arm is actually a good idea because I remember a couple years in Heidelberg when we had a lost child, the child would not speak. And I was actually like, that's what people teach their kids, don't talk to strangers, stranger danger.
Stranger danger.
And, people tried so many different languages and like nothing, the kid was like a brick wall. Like
Frozen.
you weren't, frozen. And so the parent eventually, realized that their child was missing. But that's a great idea, actually, just to scribble the number on the arm.
Yeah.
Very good idea. Yeah. So, and then one of the other things that I want to talk about, which is usually really popular with our guests, is the shuttle bus.
Yes, so to make sure that we're drinking responsibly and planning out your night and to avoid the traffic. So we do have the shuttle buses leaving from Washington Square. It starts at 11 p.m. So after the fireworks, the buses will be running to the other bases.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
and so I know we were trying to clarify if it was going to be going out to RB, and so that's still something that we need to follow up on. But for sure, they're going to be going to Kelly, Patch, and Panzer.
Yeah.
Right. Patch?
I'm
Kelly
sorry,
Panzer.
Kelly, Panzer.
Y'all can walk if you live on
maybe
Patch.
No, I'm sorry. I know. I'm just like, it's by default. I say that.
Yeah, so basically, after the fireworks, you can just start, walking up. And if anybody doesn't know where Washington Square is, you basically head up the hill, past Java Cafe, for example, and keep walking up until you get to the big parking lot where the church is.
Yes.
And that's where the shuttle should be.
Okay, perfect. And then so that's pretty much all of the housekeeping type things that we wanted to bring up. Joel, was there anything else that you wanted people to remember? I mean, I know we're going to talk about the all access, but just in terms of like immediate things on the field as far as activities or anything like that, I think we pretty much covered everything. It's going to be hot, so bring sunblock, bring plenty of water. I always have like a hydro flask full of water or something like that. Right. So
I mean, the only thing I can think of is not safety wise, but our sponsors are always out there on the field. Mm-hmm. They're set up next to the stage, and they're out there for you. They have valuable information. It's because of them that these kind of events are free admission, and we're able to bring in a lot of the stuff, give a lot of stuff away. And I would just recommend that you say hi, pick up some free stuff from them. Usually they have some snacks and sweet stuff and just some giveaways. And it can't hurt to go talk to them.
All right. And another thing that I wanted to talk about was the Warrior Challenge.
Yes, and it is a challenge.
So tell us
Bring it on.
Yeah, so last year was the first year they ever did the Warrior Challenge. So tell us a little bit about how it has changed from last year, Kim.
Okay, well, I am not a warrior, in case anybody's wondering.
You're not going to do it?
Yeah, that would be a big old negative. Yeah. I have to protect these knees that I have.
Yes, so your knees are precious.
Knees
be kind
are precious,
to them.
and I'm over 40. But the Warrior Challenge obviously is for warriors. This isn't for kids, and it's you have to be 16 and over. If you're between 16 and 17, then you have to have an adult. Be there present with you.
Yep.
And sign a waiver form.
Yep.
Yes, and so it's this. This is like the sports area. This is their specialty for ID4, and they are going all out. So the whole point, like I said, it's a challenge, and so who can get through it the best and the fastest. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if you know, Ken is really highly involved, and he's an Ironman.
Oh,
like he's doing Ironman actually as we speak today.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he's up in Ireland doing that. So I'm telling you, he knows how to make things challenging
and tough, yes,
and tough, and he's been really involved in designing this. So if you think you have what it takes, then you sign up that day at the Warrior Challenge and test your skills.
Yeah, I remember last year the Warrior Challenge. It had different sections where you had to push the sled, and I think do the ropes, and then you had to do the monkey bars, basically going across, and a couple other things. And I know that at the end, the challenge was to do the paintball shooting, hitting a target, and that was the hardest part for people because they couldn't, keep the paintball gun steady anymore. Their hands were shaking and whatnot. And that seemed pretty tough already.
Yes.
Last year. I know the times were somewhere between, I think, like 1 to 3 minutes on average. And people were struggling. So if it's going to be tougher,
yes,
I can only imagine. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in participating in this year's Warrior Challenge, just a few notes for you. So as Kim said, you must be at least 16. And if you're under 18, so 16 to 17, then a parent or legal guardian will have to sign a waiver. They have men and women's divisions. And so the age categories are 16 to 25, 26 to 39, and then 40 plus. And it's going to go from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And again, you just sign up the day of, so at July 4th on Husky Field. And I remember seeing some of the pictures last year, and like I saw a guy go through, and he had on like jeans and like a button up, like a long sleeve button up. And I was like, well, first of all, it was hot. I don't know how he came out in a button up, but I was like, I know that's definitely not comfortable for exercise. So the only thing I can imagine is that he saw it and he's like, oh, I can do that. And then he just kind of did it.
He just kind of did it. Right.
So make sure you definitely come dressed to
be smarter than that guy.
So make sure you definitely come dressed appropriately if you plan to take on the Warrior Challenge.
Yes.
It'd be pretty cool to see some people out there in some, flag inspired, what are they, like unitards, like wrestling? Okay, maybe not a unitard, but you get my drift. You get my drift, like a costume of some sort.
Oh, yeah.
But that'd be pretty cool. Add some, to be good for some pictures.
Factor. Another challenge to the challenge.
There
Oh,
you go,
yeah. Do it with
basically.
a cape.
There you go.
Yeah, so.
Who's the biggest superhero?
Yeah.
Exactly.